If you're trying to get your first job in the animation industry, I really hope you're posting your work online. It's a really simple, easy, free thing you can do that might help boost your career. Now, obviously, I have this YouTube channel and an Instagram and a TikTok for Animation Hustle, so I know a lot about social media and the algorithms, and definitely understand how animation artists and artists in general can use it to help boost their online presence. So obviously, I'm much more enthusiastic about social media, but everybody in the industry doesn't necessarily feel that way. I wanted to share some quick clips of professional animators and how they use social media.
Hi, I'm Chris Battle, and I'm a character designer, mainly in television animation. Most of you have probably seen my work in a lot of classic Cartoon Network shows like Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls, and Samurai Jack, and even newer shows like Teen Titans Go. Getting your stuff out there, because I mean, it's hard to get noticed, but all of the recruiters for studios, they're all looking on social media, and all of us professional artists, we're just out there looking at social media. We like to just see stuff on Instagram and find new artists who are exciting, and then the good work stands out. Yeah, I couldn't believe that the first time I really learned about that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's the big important thing. Yeah, anytime I would post like a Mojo Jojo drawing, all of a sudden my view count would just go up, and then all of a sudden I'd have like 20 new followers. I'm like, okay, I'll just occasionally post some classic stuff. I'm not even playing the algorithm. It's funny. I was just posting stuff before that happened. It was just lucky that it was just a time where all of us artists were just getting established, and as long as you just had a hashtag on it, your stuff could be found. And I always try to do a good mix. And what I'm lucky is that I've had a long enough career and that I've been on several media platforms where it's like, oh man, I got like 8 years worth of stuff from Blogger that nobody on Tumblr has seen. And then when I got on Instagram, I'm like, man, all the people here on IG, they haven't seen my Tumblr yet or anything like that. So I could like post some new stuff, personal stuff, but then I could just go back and like, I'm just going to post like 3 days of Dexter's Lab stuff or something. Everybody gets excited for that, and then they'll come look at my new stuff, and it kind of just cycles on like that. So it just accidentally wound up. And then because I had been on so many different sites promoting my stuff, all of a sudden, if you just Google my name, I like accidentally I got my SEO
Right.
like way up. I wasn't even trying to. I'm just like, I'm going to post a profile here, there, everywhere. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on a Blogger. I was on Flickr back in the day. Every new
Wow.
thing. Yeah, yeah. And then enough times, maybe somebody will do a little write up on you or something. Your name is just there. So it makes it just easy for people to find you. You want to make it as easy as possible for people to find you, even if they don't have your email, or if they're not on Twitter, but then they're on Instagram, then they'll find you. And if you can get a Google search like that, that reveals you. Even better if you have a really unique name, something like that.
Right.
But
Right.
Look, I don't know if they're using AI or if they stole assets from Pokemon, but this is the story about how the Palworld team hired an animator from Twitter. Yes, this is the story about how some guy went from working at the grocery store to animating on one of the most popular games of the year. Have you played it yet? What do you think? So basically, Palworld just dropped and is being called Pokemon with Guns. In a development blog, the CEO breaks down some of the crazy stories from making the game. Turns out, the Japanese team didn't have any experience animating guns, and they were struggling to find someone who could fill that role. Eventually, they took to Twitter to look at profiles and see what's out there. They stumbled across a Twitter profile of a hobbyist animator who only posts videos of gun animation. Things reloading, things shooting, from a first-person perspective, basically. So his work was so good, the Palworld team thought he was a professional. Turns out he was just a regular guy at a regular job who just animated for fun. He was quickly hired and is now the lead of all gun animation in the game. I be telling you guys, post stuff online. A lot of animators are nervous and shy about sharing their work, but the internet is a powerful tool. Post stuff because you never know who's watching. One post could change your life.
Hi, I'm Shay Curtis. I'm a character designer. I'm a storyboard director. I teach, and I've developed a few of my own shows. So yeah, jumped around quite a bit. At the time, we were using Blogger. So, I would look at Darren FC's work and I really liked it. And we'd be like commenting on each other's work. And she would give me like a little bit of freelance to do for the Star pilot. and from there we just kind of built this relationship. So it was a mixture. It was like really good timing that like her show got greenlit, and the fact that like we had kind of this like back and forth rapport where I would like send her emails about like how to break in, and she was just so kind to and then and just like our styles were just really meshed well together, and like like just developing that like kind of friendship online, which was it's maybe easier to do now with like there's so much social media, but then on the flip side of that is like, oh my gosh, yes, there is so many people online. It could almost be like harder to facilitate some friendships when there's so many people online. But I would say like it was a mixture of definitely like a friendship and timing and luck, and the fact that our styles were simpatico.
So when it comes to social media, how do you feel about it as an artist?
Oh, it's mixed feelings. I think it's great for exposure and connecting and seeing, beautiful things that you wouldn't be able to see in artists that, maybe you wouldn't have been able to reach pre social media. But I think for greener artists, or like people who are like in high school and college and they're drawing and practicing, like the pressure to kind of be like posting that stuff online, and like just the fact that like people are like, oh, I'm like 12 and this is my art and it's like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, and you're just like, how do I compete with that? Like I imagine it's really hard, as an like I find it hard still, like as an artist now on social media. And I didn't have that growing up. Like it almost felt like this kind of quiet, safe space to be able to grow as an artist and not have the pressure of like posting online or like being bombarded with just the best art you've ever seen. Like we had deviant art, and that was kind of up and coming, but it wasn't like it is today. So it's both a blessing and a curse.
So when it comes to social media, how do you feel about it as an artist?
Oh, it's mixed feelings. I think it's great for exposure and connecting and seeing, beautiful things that you wouldn't be able to see in artists that, maybe you wouldn't have been able to reach pre social media. But I think for greener artists, or like people who are like in high school and college and they're drawing and practicing, like the pressure to kind of be like posting that stuff online, and like just the fact that like people are like, oh, I'm like 12 and this is my art and it's like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, and you're just like, how do I compete with that? Like I imagine it's really hard, as an like I find it hard still, like as an artist now on social media. And I didn't have that growing up. Like it almost felt like this kind of quiet, safe space to be able to grow as an artist and not have the pressure of like posting online or like being bombarded with just the best art you've ever seen. Like we had deviant art, and that was kind of up and coming, but it wasn't like it is today. So it's both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, I ask because I see a lot of posts about, kids, especially like you say, kind of feeling bad about themselves and their art
Mhm.
when they don't get the amount of likes they think they should be getting on it. And
Yes.
it's kind of like I don't know. I get, obviously I understand you got to post on social media, but I feel like kids especially need to realize that like the algorithm isn't designed for their like well-being or growth or
Mhm.
happiness at all, right? In all aspects of life,
No, no.
and especially when it comes to their art, I just feel bad for them having to kind of deal with that. So I was just saying, I know you're on social media as well, so just asking.
Yeah, I've definitely scaled back a bit, but like when I was trying to what's the word? Not broadcast. I was trying to like talk about my classes, and I had to like advertise them, and even that I was like, oh my God, the pressure of having to like, how many times do I post? Am I being annoying? Like there's so many new anxieties and pressures
Right,
that come with
right.
social media now. But yeah, like even I feel it. Like I think I'm doing great art, and then I go on like Instagram for 5 minutes and I feel terrible about myself, and I'm like, I'm not trying enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not pushing myself enough, I have to have a style, but I have to be consistent, but I have to be flexible. It's so much.
Yeah, 1000% agree. I even with Animation Hustle, I'll do a video. I'm like, this is gonna do great. Like, I know it, and then nothing. I'm like, come on!
You're like, oh my god, yeah.
I
know. It really. I've seen, like, I feel bad. Like I've seen artists like spiral online about being like, I don't get it. I have like so many followers. Like, some people have 10K and up followers, and then they'll post art and they get like 10 likes.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, we have to like train ourselves to separate like our self-worth from those likes and that algorithm.
I see a lot of young artists who, for whatever reason, don't want to post their stuff online. Maybe they're anxious about being compared to others. Maybe they think their work isn't that great. Now, obviously, I have this YouTube channel and an Instagram and a TikTok for Animation Hustle, but I am also a professional artist in the animation industry. So I know a lot about social media and the algorithms, and definitely understand how animation artists and artists in general can use it to help boost their online presence. So if you want to learn more about that, let me know in the comments, and I can try to make some videos that'll help you get your Instagram going. But until then, check out some more videos, and I'll see you in the next one.